So hey, what's up everybody? Dr. Craig Ingstrom here, but you can just call me Craig because I'm not a jerk. I'm just a guy who's trying to help you improve the efficiency and effectiveness of your work, make you a better presenter, and make you a better communicator in general, specifically focusing on instructors of communication or those in the talent development space, but I welcome anybody with those interests. Now, in this video, I'm really just going to say, where the hell have I been? It's been 2 weeks since I've posted a video. I've gotten a little off my rhythm. Hey, I have to read like thousands of pages sometimes and give feedback on them. But really what I was doing was trying to focus on my financials. I just knew that there were going to be some market disruptions, and I think it's important that you basically don't lose sight of what's important. So in this video, I'm talking about focus, I'm talking about cost-benefit analysis, and I am essentially just answering the question of where I have been. So I think that it's important to note, let me switch over to my screen here and get talking. So as you know, I have basically making this claim that I made $17,200 not posting to YouTube. And I really believe that it's because I was looking at cost-benefit analysis and said, okay, I need to get focused here on some of my strategies. So if I go over to, say, my YouTube channel, you'll see that I have like 181 subscribers. I'm not making any money off of YouTube. Don't really care if I do, but I've got my primary job that I've got to focus on, and I've got to focus and make sure that I, don't lose sight of other things important in my world. And I just had a sense that some things were changing in terms of the financial markets. I knew the interest rates were probably going to go up, and I also started seeing a lot more conversations happening around cryptocurrencies and non-fungible tokens or NFTs. And I'm just like, I need to know more about this because I don't want to be locked out on sort of the future. And as Gary Vaynerchuk just said, probably 2% of people are really just focused right now on what is essentially going to be like Web 3.0. And if I'm just focusing on a channel that's not really, it's important that I give you useful content, but I can't, do that at the expense of not being focused. So if we look at sort of what I've been doing then is I didn't know much about cryptocurrency. I knew about Bitcoin, but I wasn't that focused on it. And I just got the sense that now it's becoming very institutionalized and legitimate, and I need to learn more about it and see if I should move some of my portfolio into that. So I got very interested in that and spent like hours upon hours reading, doing research into understanding how you do cryptos, setting up accounts like my Coinbase account, setting up other accounts so I could do trading, understanding what a vault is. So just really starting to learn, more about those markets and deciding how much of my net worth should I put into these products, buying coins and getting some strategies about how to do that because I'm very conservative with my money. I'm not a huge risk taker. And yeah, so one thing that I really preach on this channel, and part of my sort of reason for doing it, is just helping you become more efficient and effective. And I think, if you have better financial strategy, then you're able to focus on other things like personal development and improvement. So I started learning about it. And as you can see, the market's sort of been up and down, and I've been just basically dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin, trying to accumulate some resources there and figuring out what coins that I want to buy and what projects. So if you start learning about the space, you start learning about projects and how these cryptocurrencies work. And I'll probably do a video on sort of what I would recommend from a communication instructor, talent development person, what projects in the crypto space you might want to be looking at. And I think that if you're not paying attention to this stuff, you're going to be left behind. I mean, we're essentially on the verge of a new economy in this space. It's kind of like 1995 with just the sort of e-commerce, internet sort of taking off. And so you really want to probably start paying attention to cryptocurrencies. In my opinion, this is not a financial advice at any means, but basically, as you can see, by doing that work, I started moving some money around. And since that time, and of course this could go down and up and it varies day by day, but I've made about $4,500 on the money that I put into various markets on there. I also knew, as I said, that the stock market was going to be doing some turnover, and I just wanted to make sure that I got out of maybe some tech stocks into some other stocks and moving my money around in the portfolio. And since that time, because I made some strategic decisions, my money is up about $8,000 in those specific funds that I moved. And probably I mitigated, well, I know I mitigated, which is a fancy word for lessened. I lessened my risk on some of these stocks that have actually gone down. So probably when you don't factor, or when you do factor in how much money I didn't lose by switching over, it's much higher. So I didn't lose some money on some stocks, and I gained in some other ones about $8,000. Also, for my company, or for the organization I work for, which is Southern Illinois University, last week we were doing the SIU Day of Giving, and I wrote a little pitch and I sent it out to my network and started pitching people to donate money to my students, thereby putting a lot of time and effort into that activity, above and beyond what I would normally do for my regular work as an instructor. And out of that, as you can see, I raised roughly $2,500 through those campaigns on behalf of my students. So I'm going to put that money into there because that was dedicated time. And in my business, I actually, was focusing on projects. I've had an increase in some resume client work and so forth, and I would say that I made about $1,450 last 2 weeks on those projects. And finally, I did invest and have been working on, so if you were familiar with my website before, definitely did not look as nice and sleek as it does right now. So the past 2 weeks, I've been putting some time and effort into revamping my webpage. So I've done all of this design and updates myself, which takes time. So I've saved money. I didn't have to pay anybody. I learned how to do this through my coursework and just learning on my own, and happy to share with you how I build this on Weebly. If that's something you're interested in, be sure to smash that like button. Tell me in the comments, and I'm happy to do videos to help you get better at doing this stuff too, because we all are trying to make some money in the hustle these days. And I also added some other services or updated them, so you can see if I go to my LinkedIn review page, understanding that crypto is going to be growing in popularity, I wanted to make sure I'm able to accept that. I updated some of my page, and as you can see, I've already sold out on some items, and I've had an uptick in traffic on my site and purchases. And I added this resume review page since then, and I've been able to sell one project so far through that, but I think this will start to grow. Normally, I haven't provided a very discounted service, but I'm going to start offering that because I think that it's something that would give me some additional revenue stream. So as you can see, that's sort of what I've been up to, and I think that it's important that as a professional, you don't lose focus. You do cost-benefit analysis, right? I could have created some more videos and used my 10 hours to 20 hours of extra time, which I enjoy doing these, but that would come at a loss of not being focused on some other things that I really needed to be attending to in sort of my day-to-day activities and life and financials. So don't lose sight of what you're doing. If you are a creator or doing things to try to build towards personal wealth and just having a side hustle, also don't forget that there are other ways in which you can make money, and focusing 100% of your efforts on one thing actually can come at the expense of another. And so you're just trying to balance it all out. If you found this helpful, and if you would like me to talk about more finances, tell me in the comments, because I personally believe that as professionals, if you're able to build some wealth, if you're able to not be so stressed out about finances, then you can do the things like invest in courses. You can, not like college courses, I'm talking about maybe certifications. You can go to conferences. You can do the sort of things that actually improve your professional capabilities, that just makes you more competitive for other jobs and might actually serve you better in your side hustles or businesses. So again, on this channel, I talk primarily about improving the efficiency and effectiveness of your work, presentations, and generally some topics related to talent development and instructional communication. If you think those would be interesting to you, go ahead and subscribe to the channel already. At the very least, if you've stayed this long, smash that like button. Show me that you liked it. It does help me out. It's totally free to do. And yeah, until I see you in the next video, well, not you directly, but see you watching the video, or until you're watching the next video, I do hope that you have a wonderful day.